Welcome to the High School Backups podcast. Normally, it's episode 45, and normally that would be a funny joke. However, this is not a start as to which I am going to bring a ton of energy or going to bring a ton of happiness and whatnot that I normally feel like I would. Um, so I'll just get right into it. Last night, we saw one of the scariest things we have ever seen in our sports history, our 25 maximum years of sports history that we've been watching. There have been many scary moments for many players, broken limbs and concussions just as recently as this year, and things that we never ever thought or wanted to see on such a large scale. And unfortunately, not only did we see one of those last night, we saw what by far was the most scary and the most terrifying version of that we've seen in a very long time. The closest I can date back something similar is when Ryan Shazier took that massive hit and was down on the ground. The major difference here is that our friend Hamlin could not move. He could not give a thumbs up. He could not give us anything. Last night we saw a man that all of us as Patriots fan and a Giants fan, we don't know Hamlin. We do now. We know his charitable contributions. We know the time he's put into anything and everything outside of himself. We know the time he's put towards his community that he came from. And we know the time he's put towards his teammate and the people he loves. That includes his family, that includes his friends, and that includes the team that he plays for and the people he plays with. And that doesn't just include the Bills. We all saw a man who's our age. We are all roughly around the age of 24. And we saw this man take a hit, a standard hit that we now know is in just the wrong millisecond, which placed him on the ground and in the hospital. This is not something that anyone, none of us, none of the people doing this for 5 years, 10 years, 50 years will ever want to talk about and wish they never had to. We do this podcast for fun, and we do it because we love what we do. We love talking sports. We love being together and having discussions, having arguments. But in this moment, and last night, we must take a minute to show respect for a man who verbally put his life on the line for something he loves to do. Something that previously had been said as a gimmick, a sentence, just to show that you did whatever it took. And he quite literally is still fighting for his life. All of our prayers go out to him, his family, the Bills organization, as we hope nothing but the best for this young man. We want him to come back stronger than ever and be able to live his dream out longer than it ever could have been, because that was taken away from him. We just hope that he comes out of this on the other side as good as he possibly can and can be with his family once more. At the very least, has a chance to live out the rest of his life as someone who took and went down for something he loves. So we're going to take a few seconds here, a few seconds of silence, just as a head bow to a player that we may not have known previous to Sunday night, other than as a player for a rival, we now know is a man of culture, a man of love, a man of family, and a man of giving that we want to show respect to. So we're gonna take a moment. Okay. This is not something we will forget, and we hope that the NFL continues to learn from things like this. As much as this isn't something they could have stopped, their priorities this year have seemed and hopefully will continue to shift in the right direction in terms of player safety and ensuring that things like the NFLPA are continuing to keep the players first. Because in one moment, it can all be over.